Hello and welcome to the Weekly Canon podcast. I'm your host, Clayton. It is T-minus 7 days till Christmas. So Feliz Navidad and all of that. And my one question is, Uncle Mike, are we going to be top at Christmas?
Fuck it, yes we are.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go positive, man. We can't. The week before Christmas, we can't be bringing some mood hoovers into the conversation, can we? So
we can.
Vampires, man, mood killers. So no. We'll be top, and we'll be top to the rest of the season. Let's have that out now.
Are we going to be top because we win our game, or are we going to be top because West Ham are going to do something at the Etihad?
Both.
Wait, is it at the Etihad?
No, it's at West Ham, I believe.
Okay.
I'm sure it's at West Ham. On paper, that's a City win all day long, isn't it? But it's
at City. I've just checked.
Oh fuck. Yeah, well, I think it's a tricky one for us, isn't it? It's got banana skin written all over it. But I just think that every game I'm looking at now has got some form of jeopardy. But Saturday night in Liverpool, eyes of the nation on us, 8:00. Everyone's looking for us to, and I just hope if City do win, I just hope that we just have a nice drama-free game, put it to bed, and get out of there, because I don't really want my week before Christmas spent listening to why Arsenal are bottom in the league. So,
yeah, and unfortunately, if we drop points, we're not going to be able to escape the narrative. And there'll be the whole who's top at Christmas usually goes on to do this and that and whatever the points lead was. And I think this is very much just a case of when I say there's a time to play a team, I think this is now with Everton. We've been a little bit fortunate with the timing of playing them without Gay and Jai. I think Dewsbury Hall or Grealish may be out as well. Obviously, to timestamp this, is Thursday night right now, so we are going a little early. But I feel like there was a fifth one as well I've missed.
No, I think that was the four that I've heard. But I think they're pretty confirmed out, rather than certainly the two that have gone to AFCON. We know that they're out, and then you've got in Dewsbury Hall. It didn't look good. I don't think you're going to risk a hamstring. It looked a hamstring, wasn't it? I don't think you're going to risk a hamstring against.
Well, especially as after us, they, in the context of their season, they got Burnley away, Forest away.
They're the 6 points. They're the 6 points that they'll be.
And then Brentford and Wolves. So
so there's 12. There's 12, and it's almost like then the thing with Everton, they're never ever going to sit back. Certainly, it was quite a raucous crowd, and you've just told me that some lucky boys got a ticket for the game, so you will be experiencing that. So that'll be a bit lively. So it's going to be a raucous atmosphere there. Be quite exciting for you, I suppose, to go to a new stadium.
Yeah.
Tick it off your list. It does look a nice stadium, but I think we mentioned it last week. It hasn't got the atmosphere. I don't think it's got the spirit of Goodison, has it? It's the old stadium, the old lady they called her. There's something about that place that just brings out something in them, and certainly they always seem to raise it against us. Our record over the last 3 or 4 years I believe is pretty poor. I think we might have only won once, possibly. Didn't last year, did we? We got given a dodgy penalty. I think it was a draw last year.
Yeah, you're right. It was 1-1 last year. We did win 1-0 the year before that. I was actually at when Trossard scored.
And then there's a couple
before that where at Goodison, I'm scrolling until the 5-2 in 2017. So so one win since 2017 at Goodison in the league. But I'm torn. I think the atmosphere, you're right, is going to be raucous. But like you said, we spoke about the kind of the intimate feel of Goodison versus this one, and I don't know. I can't remember.
Stadium, isn't it? It's just another stadium with rowdy fans, and we've been doing that in Europe for the last 3 seasons. It's not going to be as intimidating as somewhere like Real Madrid with a closing the roof and all that nonsense that they tried. So yeah, it is. I do think that might it. It's one of those that it's this. Oh, it's a new stadium, but you're so right. It's not got the proximity to the pitch. It's got the high stands. So yeah, there will be lots of noise, but I don't think it feels as enclosed and as in no space. And I think that was our problem previously, that we can go there and they'll think of a certain game that we play. I don't. They know how to counter or knew how to counter that.
That's what I can't remember if we said this on the pod or if like I was speaking to you or someone else about this, but like that I really believe it was Deitch at Everton that set the kind of template to beat us when not beat us, but nullify us when he came to the Emirates a couple of years ago. And like, I don't know, at a pitch like Goodison, it used to always be tight, compact. You couldn't really stretch it and stuff. Whereas I do feel like with this pitch, if you get your spacing and your distances right, if your technique's clean, I do think you can stretch the pitch and create space for people. So I don't know. I am a bit conflicted about this game. Like on one hand, I feel like I said this a couple of weeks ago and we fucking lost to Villa. But like on one hand, I could see us going there and putting on a bit of a performance, and like it is a little bit of a routine 2-0 sort of thing. And we're like, oh, that was all right. And then on the other, I'm like, oh, I can see us being a bit under the cosh. They're making it difficult. Like without the likes of Grealish and Dewsbury, they just park it, sit in, soak it up. And if we get our selection wrong, we struggle to break it down. So yeah, I'm a bit conflicted. But it's been a while since we've been able to just do a pod in the literal preview format. So let's just go straight into it. Do you want to talk through predicted lineups? Obviously, we're going pre-presser. So I'm just trying to think in terms of from the last game, would there be anyone like obviously Ben White won't make.
Zubimendi was rumoured to be out of training.
Really?
Yeah, that was on Tuesday. Was out of training and training on his own in the gym. And then that kind of ties into he came off early, didn't he, in the Wolves game, or came off at 60, I believe. So was that an injury? You know what's going on with us. Just anything like that, it just gives me clacks on about.
Have you seen that stat doing the rounds of like the amount of injuries?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man!
It's unbelievable. Compare it to West Ham, we've got like 40.
I do think at that point there must be like an analysis going on.
But do you not think Arteta's the type of man? He's not an Ange that's just going to ignore an outlet, something like a set piece and just fuck it, mate. I'm just not interested in that. He'll be all over it. I mean, they sacked or they parted company with the soft tissues coach.
I saw this, and he's gone to set up his own company or some bollocks, isn't it?
So, I mean, does that say something?
But then you had the doctor.
But then you had the doctor at
Gary
who's now at United, and then suddenly they had a load of injuries. So, I mean, it's just coincidental. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it last time. I heard some mad thing that it was down to Wenger with the hardness of the pitch at the Emirates. Yeah, why are we? There's like it's like NFL, right? In NFL, you expect teams to get there's never a fit NFL team, because I don't know if you ever watch NFL, but it's quite a brutal game and there's a lot of injuries in.
I didn't know you watch it.
Yeah, man, I'm a Chiefs fan. So, but there's a certain team, and I think it's the 49ers, that have just got an absolutely horrendous record, like no other team, and there's nothing that they can explain of. This is over a period of 20 years. So your turnover, your players, your managers, your diet, everything is changed in that time. Yet still, they have these major injuries that just hold them back. And is it, did Wenger do a deal with the devil for the 2004 Invincibles, and we're going to be cursed like this? Because it's there's a point of it. I mean, there's a lot of it is put at Arteta's feet for intense training, and we know that's probably true. And for the sort of last 2 or 3 years, we can look at it and say, well, we know he's only had 12 beginning to start with, he probably had 7 players he trusted. Then it was up to 9, 11, 13, and so on and so on. So, but we know he overplays players. He want, there's that quote about Saka. Top players play 70 games a week, a year. So he is that sort of coach. So, but when you're if you're continually getting hamstrings, which we have had a couple of, but if you're getting an impact injury like I did on the first game of the season, then what can you do? That can't be put at anyone's. That's just a footballing injury, isn't it? And then that kind of leads on to, did you hear the setback on Kai as well?
Yeah. So for anyone that's not aware, it's looking like middle of Jan, I think it was. Now he's looking at coming back. So hopefully in the squad for Liverpool, more likely maybe Portsmouth in the FA
But then
Cup.
it's not. I mean, if in the squad,
he won't be fit and firing.
It's not going to be. No, it'd be mid-February, wouldn't it? I mean, in a way, that could be a blessing, right? Because you've got to burn Jesus, right? And I'm so pleased he's back. And I don't know if you saw his letter in the Players' Tribune.
I haven't actually read it myself. I've seen a few quotes coming out. And
it's really nice, and it's worth a read. And it just sort of puts the human level on what happens to a player that's clearly passionate. And those Latin American players have got something else inside them when it comes to this sort of stuff. And to have that stripped away from you for 11 months. I mean, I'm nowhere near it, but I'm waiting for a knee replacement, so I know exactly but that guy is just lives football, and to be that stripped away. So for him to come back, I think he'll get plenty of minutes. And maybe if we've got a fit and firing Havertz for the last 3-4 months of the season, then as long as he stays fit for the last 3-4 months of the season, that could be a game changer. And that's the only
in and amongst the latter stages of Europe.
Yeah, and that's the only positive I can take, because this guy's played so little football in the last year. It was January, so he's out. We haven't seen him in an Arsenal shirt, and he looked so. We had all the pre-season stuff about him being hench and super Kai and looking like bulky and
he scored a great goal against someone where he just
sprinted in, and it was in their pre-season when I think it was in one of the Emirates Cup games, I believe, and it really, really good. So disappointing, and that kind of, again, we've said it at the start of the season, it pairs into the Gyökeres factor. He's now going to have to play a lot more minutes, so it's a really disappointing blow, and I just think it's. When we hear it, and I'm still seeing people, pundits on Sky, still saying no excuses for Arsenal, we've got the squad. But yeah, when you look at the squad and how decimated it actually is, I mean, it's an absolute miracle that we are where we are, I think.
It's, I mean, I do think it is the amount of investment we did in the summer. Like, I dread to think where we would be if we didn't.
Without an Ezra.
Yeah, but let's bring it back to Everton. So go on. Where's your head at with predicted lineups? And I think, given a lot of the conversation around the last 2-3 games has been on, especially from my perspective, thinking the manager's got the lineup wrong. Maybe we should do the whole what we think we should do versus what we think he'll do. Like, so Everton away in a game where they're going to be without Grealish and Dye. Do you think they're just going to soak it up, park it? How do you think they'll approach it?
Well, it's Moyes, isn't it? So I think that he will not want to get turned over. He's not going to come out and play football against us. Another one of the Dyche's school where loves defending. Not going to want to be embarrassed by Arsenal. Might give it a little bit of a go, but without that midfield, that they're the enforcers, aren't they? And your creative is Ndiaye, and then you've got Grealish has been as well. So without them and Dewsbury Hall, so they've got 3 creative players out, and then you've got your enforcer in the midfield.
Yeah, that's
gonna obviously change the way that they play, and he might just pack it with bodies.
And if they do that, what kind of players do you think that suits us? Like, is this a game where you're thinking, okay, the number 9? Do you think it? Okay, two questions. Do you think this is a game for Gyökeres? And then second question, do you think Arteta will go with him?
I think he will go with him. I would go with him. I think you've got and knowing that you've got the advantage is you've got Jesus there to come on with half an hour, and I think he will get half an hour.
You don't think he'll go back to the Merino up top jobby? No, because I, from what I'm anticipating, I wouldn't hate seeing it. Confuse them a bit, drag them out of position, have someone running in. Like some of the rotations, we would, as much as I.
Right, yeah.
It's a bit inconsistent with what we get when we go that way, but
we played our best football earlier in the season with Merino up top, or we managed to get on these results with Merino up top, with Eze hitting, dropping slightly behind.
Against
okay. I think if we start with the defence,
the
defence is pretty set. I think we're going Kepa. We're going Timber.
Kepa.
Sorry, that was still in my head from the last week when I wanted him to play against Bruges, and then I'm glad he didn't play against Bruges because Raya saved us that game. We played really good in that game. So yeah, Raya. Then you're going Timber, you're going Saliba, you're going Hincapié, and I think that will be. And I think Hincapié next to Saliba, I think we're seeing a different.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
A different partnership. And then I'm going Calafiori.
Yeah, me too.
Because you need that. So that's the 4, and I think that's the 4 that I would want, and I also think it's the 4 that Arteta will go for. Then we're going. We don't know any fitness, so we're going on a fairly clean slate of what we know. So I will go Zubimendi. Then I'm going Rice. See, it's almost coming down to now is like what we used to do with the fullback.
Yeah.
It's now the number 10 and your number 9. Sort of. There's only 2. I think there's only 2 or 3 changes that he makes, but that has a massive impact on the whole structure, doesn't it? So, if Trossard's fit, I think Trossard will start.
Yeah, me too.
Then you got Trossard, Saka. You're going Zubimendi, you're going Odegaard, Rice, and it's basically down to could you do a Merino? Well, you wouldn't, would you? Would you do a Merino instead of Odegaard? And a Gyökeres up top. I don't think that looks too clunky to me. There's no creativity is there. So it almost comes down to I'd go Eze.
How come?
Because I think you can get at him, and I think he can be that moment of magic that if they're going to low block it, then I think he's more likely to ping one from 25 yards. A bit of moment of magic, 1-0 to the Arsenal, get out of there. Whereas I think, if you're playing, but then again, it depends. Do you want a Gyökeres up top, or okay? I'll go Merino and I'll go Eze, and that'll be my Eze. So I'm dropping Gyökeres. I'll go Trossard, Saka, Merino up top, Eze, Rice, Zubimendi.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see what he does, because I don't think anyone's going to call 11 out of 11 this week. Well, I think people will get the back 5 correct, but like in the midfield, there are options, and like I'm conflicted because, like, on one hand, I kind of want Odegaard and Eze in the same team for this game, because kind of what I was saying against Wolves, like I quite like the idea of Odegaard being the primary ball dominant player in the final third against a team that's going to park it, where he manipulates the ball, just sustains the pressure. And then I like having an Eze in the final third who's just like a 1 to 3 touch action kind of guy, but it will probably end up in a goal. And so I do like the idea of them two in the same team, but is he really going to do that again? Like the Rice holding Eze on the left eight, Odegaard right eight? Because I don't think he'll go Eze left wing for this because I think Trossard starts this game. So I would, do you know? And then this is the thing, like the Rice Eze Odegaard midfield sounds great, but I do think against a team that's going to park it, you do kind of want Zubamendi's passing ability as well. But then can you get away
he
with
might,
it?
yeah, he might. I mean, it might actually be a forced. Well, we go so we're going on. We don't know this, but it might be a forced lineup, which I think a lot of the lineups this year have been for Arteta. So it could end up being a forced lineup with, say, Zubamendi out injured.
Yeah, because the reason I'm just thinking about that, like they are without their breakaway players and like their transition players. So I'll be honest, I don't really know. I mean, I guess Dwight McNeil might come in, and like I know that's not a name to be fearful of, but like in terms of a profile, he is a ball carrier. But like I'm wondering if it is a game where you can just kind of sit Rice at the base and let Eze and Odegaard kind of be ahead of him, do their things, have Trossard there. And if Trossard's there, maybe it goes for the. Do you remember what we did at Newcastle with like Eze,
I was just going to say that.
Trossard, Gyökeres? Like, so I don't know. I'm really struggling to call this one, and I think against Villa, I was very self-confident in feeling like in my head, this is what we should do. Against Wolves, same thing. I wouldn't say I feel I have that level of self-confidence for this game and knowing what is the best combinations and stuff. But in terms of what I think he'll do, I don't think he's going to start Eze in this game. I think he will be disappointed with the Villa game. He hooked him against Wolves. So I don't think that's leading towards Eze starting this game, and that's not really tactical. That's just more kind of reading between the lines and stuff. So as a result, I think it will be the Zubamendi, Rice, Odegaard midfield. Saka and Trossard, I think, pick themselves, but that is harsh on Madueke. I feel like he deserves a little go. I do think Trossard will be okay because he came on against Wolves, right? Or have I got that wrong?
Did he come on and then, no, that was the week before. Did he come on and go off? That was the week
That
before.
was against Villa.
That was Villa. Yes, he did come on. I'm sure he came on.
Because I know Martinelli started the game. You're right, he did come on. He came on 57th minute. So that to me says he'll be in for a start. So yeah, I'll go same back five as you. I think it'll be Zubamendi, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, and I think he's going to go Marino. Yeah, I think he's going to do it. I think when the dynamics aren't quite clicking and you've seen an example of something working previously, it's in crunch time where you just have to go with what you know is possibly going to deliver and work. And it's brutal, but fuck his confidence. Like it is what it is. Like we've got to put the best team out to get the 3 points. And this is where I believe Arteta will land based on just what we've seen so far and stuff. And then we've got Palace midweek. Hopefully that's a game where they'll be a bit stretched. I think their schedule's a bit fucked. So then hopefully that's a game that Gyökeres can get some confidence in and then take it into the run of like 2 more home games, Brighton and Villa. So yeah, I'm leaning more towards I think he will go Marino up top in this one, you know. I wouldn't be opposed to Jesus starting this game, I'll be honest.
I would love to see it, but I don't know if it is a Jesus game. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
Not
having him sambering around the defenders.
I would if Martinelli was playing, then I could see that. You know, I could see because I've said it before. That's we're going back the lovely trio of Saka, him, and Martinelli. I just think he wants control. And I think he wants to start with control. And I don't think Jesus gives you the control that Arteta wants to set out in the first 45 minutes. I think you want to quiet the crowd. No, I'm not. Jesus is a fantastic footballer, but
no, I know what you mean.
I don't think it's this. And I just got a feeling that he'll make a big impact. He may come on. I mean, that'll be say if Marino does start and then suddenly got Jesus comes on before Gokaresh. I would do that. Wouldn't you at this time?
I don't know. I feel more confident about Gyökeres off the bench than I do him starting in some games. Ironically, I like to the point where I would actually be very curious to see if we do play that team that I said I think Arteta will do, and let's say we're 1 or 2-0 up. See how Gyökeres does in a game state where the pressure's off a little bit. Like, I'd be very curious to see that. And I guess that kind of leads us on to the score predictions. Well, where's your head at with it? Because the team that I said I think Arteta will pick leans me towards thinking they will have had a fucking rocket up their ass this week. Like, some of the language he used post-match against Wolves was so telling on how he felt. And I don't think it would have just been a bollocking. It would have been like a real analysis and a real, like, yeah, just kind of a bit of a wake-up moment. Like, and I think they'll rectify that. I think we'll see us sharp in this game. I'll go 2-0 away win. I don't think it'll be quite, we're carving them open left, right, and centre, but I do think there'll be periods in the game where it's like, yeah, we've pulled our finger out today. And I do think he'll go with the Merino up top. It will help maneuver some space for us and all of that good stuff. And then hopefully we're getting to a point where we can get the likes of Eze, Madueke, Gyökeres on and try get some confidence into the likes of Eze, Gyökeres, some well-deserved minutes for Madueke, and then just arrive into the Palace game in the best shape we can be. So I'll go 2-0 away win. I do think with the players Everton are missing, they're just not going to be in their best shape to make it as challenging as I think it probably would be and still will be in periods, but they're missing 4 of their best players, right? So 2-0 away win for me.
I was going to go 2-1. I was going to go we'll be 2-0 and then we'll let in a sloppy one around the 70th minute. And then when you started going through, and then we got Martinelli, and then we got Madueke, and I thought, and Gyökeres and Jesus to come on. And I thought, if you're bringing them on with 20 to go, then there's a good chance of a goal. So I'll go 3-1.
Nice.
3-1. It's like, yeah. but what you said about the Villa game, you could easily see it being a 3-1 sort of game or a 1-0 kind of game, So I think if you do get Madueke on, it would just be nice to have just score first. That's all
and early.
And early. Just score first and early, and then I can get the cigar out and have a nice Saturday evening. But 3-1.
Yeah, no, I think the other thing, right, is like this is our first midweek off since August. So I'm hoping we see that. I hope we see them rested, rejuvenated and stuff. And I do think, as much as I said, I don't know what the best lineup is for this game, I do think we will know when... What am I trying to say here? When you see the bench, so like there, I was talking about bringing Gyökeres off the bench, Eze off the bench. That makes me feel good, and it almost makes me think, okay, yeah, maybe they're not necessarily the starters for this game. If you're talking to me about bringing Odegaard off the bench, Merino off the bench, I'm like, not sure I love that. So maybe they are the starters for the game, if that makes any sense. So I do think...
Completely makes sense, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully he gets the lineup right for the opposition. Like I said, I personally think he's got it wrong the last 2 league games, so... We'll see. I won't know what's right or wrong until I see the lineup drop and then, of course, the scoreline. So always the way. But yeah, we'll leave it there. It's been nice to do it this way. First one in a while where it's just one game. Are we going to be back? Are we able to do a review?
Yeah, I'm about Monday.
Sweet.
Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
All right, we'll do a review on Monday, and then obviously that takes us into Palace, and we'll cover that a little bit on Monday's pod when we review Everton. But yeah, we'll leave it there. I know I mentioned this on the last few pods, we're 7 subs away from 400.
Come on, people.
Yeah, come on. Spread the word.
Give us a sub. Come on.
7 subs before Christmas. I'm sure we can get 1 on this pod. So if you're watching live and you're not subscribed, which I actually had a look at analytics, that's over 50% of our watchers are not actually subscribed. So if you're one of them, if you're 7 of them, Yeah, hit the subscribe button. But jokes aside, the biggest thing for us is just word of mouth. So like, share the episode with your Arsenal mates. It's a nice short 30-minute one today, just previewing the Everton game. So share it with your mates. Tell them to subscribe and just spread the word. When the tweet goes out, hit the share, hit the retweet button, and all of that good stuff. If we can hit 400 by Christmas, that would be great. And if Arsenal can stay top at Christmas, to be honest, that is all I give a shit about. You can unsubscribe if it means we stay top. So we'll leave it there. Uncle Mike, pleasure as always. Fingers crossed for a big 3 points on the weekend. Just before we do go, score prediction, City West Ham. Do we even bother?
2-0 City.
Yeah, I think similar. I'll go 3-1 City, unfortunately.
Triple captain Haaland?
I've used mine.
Oh.
Yeah, are you?
I've got to use it soon, ain't I? So
yeah.
I'm not gonna put it on Gokuesh. Let's put it that
way. no way. But yeah, no, just think like City are gonna beat West Ham, so just we have to do our job.
Mentally prepared that we will be behind on Saturday night, and we just got to absolutely do the job. However we get it done. Again, I say it every time now. I want a clean sheet. I don't want injuries. Just please, can we have a game with no injured players?
In a messed up way, I kind of like the timing of this as a challenge. I do want to see what we're made of, like, because mentally it is going to be a thing to consider. Going to Everton, 8:00 Saturday night, City probably going to be ahead of us. So let's see.
You can hear Neville and Carragher say this is exactly the type of game Arsenal have got to go and win to be in, to win the title, and they're not wrong. You cannot be going to this game, especially if you are behind in the table, and crumble, and because that's what we've done before, and then we'll never ever change the narratives that are chucked against us, because the whole world is waiting for us to fail on Saturday night if City do go ahead, and it'll be, that's it, you're not going to catch City now, you're done. We just can't let that happen. While it's still in our hands, we've just got to keep. And I think that's what I did like about the Wolves game, was that we did. It was absolute dog shit, which is what we said, but we did manage to get the 3 points. So imagine if we hadn't got those 3 points, what the pressure for Saturday now. So yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's got to be 3 points Saturday, 3 points against Brighton, 3 points against Villa. Get to the new year, reassess, take it from there. But it's crunch time. So yeah, like I said, we'll leave it there. 7 subs to 400. Help us get there, por favor. We will see you on Monday for the review. Cheers, Uncle Mike. Up the Arsenal.
On your Reds.